Welcome back. 2 toxic fires, untold tons of highly hazardous pollution, and a deadly explosion, all in less than a month. Multiple disasters in the Houston area petrochemical industry have the public asking tough questions. Are regulators actually protecting people and the environment? Are plants continuing to operate after multiple violations? Are serial polluters ever punished severely enough to alter dangerous practices? Not to mention the tens of thousands of gallons of toxic firefighting foam which may have escaped into the ship channel after the ITC fire. That material contains polyfluoroalkyl, man-made substances linked to cancer that dissolve in water and never, ever degrade. Question, have we become too cozy with this industry, and are we now paying the price? Carmen Rowe, you've seen these things happen over the last month. What's been going on with you?
I grew up in Clear Lake. I can tell you that the people out there just want to be safe and want to feel safe with their environment. There's people that are still fishing in Seabrook and Kemah right now, even though, as you pointed out, it may not be safe to do so. And so from a lawyer's perspective, I'll tell you that I think the fines aren't high enough, the criminal charges aren't forthcoming enough, and that the city has already sued the ITC plant for what they're claiming is violations, that they're going to ask for compensation regarding the cost for the city, et cetera. But we can't even measure the cost to the safety of these families out there in that area. And so no question, we need to do more in the way of fines and criminal charges. There was another plant explosion in Crosby recently, I think last week, where a gentleman died. Criminally negligent homicide is something that we need to look into in regard to that. I mean, these plants need to be held accountable for what are real dangers in our community that cannot be paid for.
Justin, you keep in close tabs with the energy industry. Both upstream and downstream. What's the scuttlebutt out there? What's the feeling?
Well, the ultimate regulation, and I say this pretty often, is going to be the civil litigation that will ensue from this. It's going to be much more than the fines, the regulations. Saying there's any type of criminal activity may be one step a little bit too far. We'll certainly find out what happened with the investigations. But all the business continuity insurance, all the damage, both economic and civil, they'll all come back in these massive lawsuits, and that will be the ultimate motivation for these companies to stay in the path that's straight and narrow.
Okay, Tony, this happened on the east side. There have been calls of environmental racism over there. Real quick, because I want to hear from Mike Collier, too.
Well, I think the level playing field was that toxic cloud hanging over all of our heads and over our consciences. And activists from the community and around the country are calling this Texas Chernobyl. They're saying it's our Flint, Michigan. This is Texas Flint. And I should warn elected officials from the past, the Republican administration who's got us here, that the former governor of Michigan, a judge ruled he can be sued for overlooking everything that led to the disasters of Flint, similar to our disasters here.
Mike, your thoughts?
I think there's no question that we're too cozy with the guys that operate these facilities. You know, I come from the corporate audit world. I audit things. I don't trust anybody, Greg. And I'm telling you something. If you don't hold people accountable, they'll cut corners. They'll do what they have to make more money. And so it's one thing to have regulations. It's another thing to enforce them. So you'll hear Republicans brag, we roll back regulations, roll back regulations. I want to know whether we're enforcing those regulations. We need to be tough on these people.
Real quickly, Ben.
Yeah, liberals always try to criminalize accidents, and people make mistakes. Technology is not perfect. This shouldn't be a bipartisan or political issue. It should simply be, let's just fix it and make sure the public safety is taken care of.
I'm for that.